Let's look at example 28, which is an example of our multiplication rule. A jar contains 10 marbles, 7 that are black and 3 that are white. 2 marbles are drawn without replacement, which means that when we pick the first one out, we're not going to put it back in before we draw the second one. All right, so question 1, what is the probability that both marbles are black? All right, so we're going to draw from the bag twice, and we want to know what is the probability that we get 2 black marbles. All right, so let's do this. So over here I put that we've got 7 black and 3 white marbles in our bag or box, whatever it is. Okay, so we reach into the bag. Our probability of getting a black marble, there's 7 black marbles out of 10 total marbles. Now, we always assume that we got exactly what we were reaching for. So we got a black marble. We're not going to put it back into the bag or the box. All right, so there are now 6 black marbles in there. All right, so when we reach into the bag a second time, there are 6 possible black marbles out of 9 possible marbles because we've got 1 out. Okay, so let's multiply this together. On the top, we're going to get 42. On the bottom, we're going to get 90. We could reduce that fraction, or we can just change it into a decimal. So 42 divided by 90, if we put it in the calculator, ends up being 0.4667. And be careful, look at what your question wants in My Open Math. If it wants a decimal, give it a decimal to the appropriate number of decimal places. If it wants a fraction, give it a reduced fraction. You must reduce it or it will count it wrong. All right, now let's go to our second one. What is the probability that exactly 1 marble is black? Okay, now we want exactly one marble black. So that could mean that the first marble is black and the second isn't black. Or it could mean that the first marble isn't black, but the second marble is black. All right, so there's really 2 scenarios that we have to figure out there. And the or in between is going to be a plus sign. All right, so the probability of getting our first draw black. Well, everything's back in the bag again. We reach in. We have 7 out of 10 probability of getting a black marble. All right, now we keep that marble out. We've got a black marble out of the bag. All right, we now reach in, and what's the probability that we don't get a black marble? Well, there's still 3 white marbles in there, but there's only 9 marbles. Now, let's go to the second scenario. We reach in, we get something that's not black. All right, so probability of getting something that's not black is 3 out of 10. And then we actually get that white marble the first time, and we leave it out of the bag. So now when we reach in, what's our probability of getting a black? Well, there's still 7 black in there, but only 9 marbles left. All right, so let's work this out. We have 21 over 90 and 21 over 90, which is 42 over 90. And it's just coincidence that those turned out the same. However, it does make it easy as far as putting it into the calculator. We have 0.4667. All right, now let's go to our third scenario. So in our third one, we want to know what's the probability that at least 1 marble is black. At least 1 marble is black. All right, now. Well, let's think about this a minute. At least 1 black means we could have the first one black and the second one isn't. That's at least 1 black. Or we could have the first one isn't black, but the second one is black. That's at least 1 black. Or we could have both are black. Oh, black, not both. Both are black. All right, so there's 3 scenarios. Let's notice that we already figured out what this stuff right here is in question 2. It's the calculation we just did. Now, I am, for the sake of accuracy, going to put the 42 over 90 instead of the 0.4667. So 42 over 90 is what the answer is to this part right here. Our OR tells us plus. Now, both black, we actually already know the answer to. That was number 1. The probability that both of them were black. That too was 42 over 90. So I want to add together 42 over 90 and 42 over 90, which is 84 over 90. All right. Now, since I rounded both of these decimals, that's why I went back to the fractions, because we'll see as we put this into our calculator and we add these two together that if I were to add these two decimals, I'd be slightly off, because this ends up being 0.9333 instead of 0.9334, which we would get from adding these two rounded up decimals.